Do you know all the ways you should measure your child's growth? We normally think height and weight, but between birth and 5 years, your child should reach milestones in how they think, learn, act, and express emotions. In this, part 2 of our Know the Signs series, we take a look at some of the social and emotional developmental milestones your child should achieve as they grow. Ministry of Education's Head of Special Needs, Brent Holt, reminds us of the ministry's role.
Well, the ministry is focusing very strategically on developmental disabilities, and particularly in the early years programs and early preschool age children. We know from research that the earlier we do the interventions, identify the children who need those interventions appropriately, and then provide those interventions, the less expensive it is down the line.
Some of the social emotional milestones that a parent or caregiver should look for in a baby of 6 months of age is looking at the face of the person talking to them. They should be smiling by this age. They should be establishing eye contact. So that's for a healthy social emotional 6-month-old.
We're social creatures. We're sort of designed to want and seek out social interaction. And babies as young as weeks old will be smiling. They'll be turning their head when they hear a voice. They'll be paying attention. They'll be lighting up when mommy or daddy walk in the room. And so if you've got a baby or a young toddler who's aloof, who doesn't want to interact, who cries when there's that social interaction, it doesn't mean they have a developmental disability, but it should be a red flag for a parent that they should be monitoring that child carefully.
For a 12-month-old, some of the social emotional milestones that a parent or caregiver should be looking for is the child should be establishing likes and dislikes for certain activities, showing preferences for certain things. This is when the no stage begins. They want to start doing things themselves, and the no stage is testing their limits and trying to be more independent. They should also be discriminating between familiar and unfamiliar people at this stage, and you could see some signs of separation anxiety from a parent or caregiver or other familiar person. At 24 months, the child should be exhibiting parallel play, where they play side by side. There could be some interaction. When the children are rigid in behavior, they don't like changing their routine very often, and that's when parents oftentimes see an increase in the frequency of tantrums. At 3 years old, a child should be more aware of themselves. They should be able to state their own name. They should be able to state their age and their gender, for example. They should also be able to take turns, but they could have some difficulty with this still. And the sharing should be exhibited now also with some guidance, and you could see some difficulty with that. And at 3 years old, they should also be able to express their feelings rather than resorting to physical aggression to get a problem resolved. At a 4-year-old who's developing typically in the social emotional area should be exhibiting cooperative play, where he or she plays together with another child or a group of children. They should also be able to adhere to simple rules, for example in the classroom or when playing group games. And they should definitely be talking more about their feelings, and physical violence, physical aggression should be minimal if there at all.
We know that the earlier and the more intense, the better the long-term prognosis. So the goal should always be early identification and early access to intervention services. But if a child, through no fault of their own, or even through the system that has evolved to meet their needs, has been missed or is only just being diagnosed now at 10 or 12 or 14, absolutely not. It's never too late. There's so much research that's being done. There's so many services and interventions that are well documented. It's a matter of figuring out exactly what this kid needs and making sure that they have access to it as quickly as possible.
Every child develops at their own pace, so it's impossible to tell when yours will learn a given skill. Visit any of the websites on your screen for a list of comprehensive development milestones. And remember to join us next time when we'll take a look at some of the communication milestones your child should master as they grow.